The Korean War by Albert and Josh. Before the Korean War, Korea used to be one country. After North Korea people planned and successfully invaded South Korea, they split into two countries. Since the Korean War happened during the Cold War, they fought over international communism. Because of North Korea's communist government, Soviet Russia and China sided with them, while the United States and Great Britain sided with South Korea.
Opposing the threat for communism, the United States sided with South Korea. Most of the fighting was back and forth attacks on the 38th parallel. The Korean War was not simply a border dispute between two unstable dictatorships, but is a war fought against the fear of communist campaign taking over the world. President Harry Truman at this time believed that if Korea fell to communism, the Soviet Union controlled them and keep on expanding their communism. Korean War, the Chinese Civil War was huge. Nationalists and communists kept fighting over how the government should be run. North Korea sent soldiers into China to help support the Chinese communists. This contribution allowed the communists to take over China. Not only was the new communist government having good relations with North Korea, but they were also angry at Western countries assisting the Chinese nationalists. As a token of appreciation for Korea, and anger towards America, China sent soldiers to assist North Korea to invade South Korea, forcing America to pull out of the war. At first, the war was a defensive one, where the South simply wanted to drive out the North. The early fightings in this war went bad for the Allies because the North Korean army was much more disciplined, well-trained, and well-equipped. By the end of North Korea's invasion, President Truman and General Douglas MacArthur decided to change the war into a more offensive viewpoint. It became a war to liberate the North from communism. This new strategy was a success because it pushed out North Korea from Seoul. America and the Allies kept pushing farther from the 38th parallel. China began to fear their safety from being violated. Thus, China's leader Mao Zedong sent Chinese troops to North Korea and warned the Americans to keep away from the Yalu boundary unless they wanted full-scale war. The fighting in Korea got so bad that Truman declared it a national emergency and even admitted considering using the atomic bomb against North Korea, but that never happened. Even though fighting stopped 3 years later, the Korean War technically never actually ended. In 1953, Korea officially split into two countries and established a border at the 38th parallel called the DMZ. This determined the border between North and South Korea. North Korea became communist and went into total isolationism from the world. South Korea's anti-communist government went on its drive to begin to industrialize. Kim Il-sung and President Kim Jong-un became the dictator of North Korea, and Syngman Rhee became the leader of the South. Although the fighting officially ended on July 27, 1953 due to the signing of armistice, the war technically never ended, and there are still soldiers in the DMZ watching. The end.